Good afternoon, guys. If you join in and you're watching this on replay, please hashtag the replay in comments, and anyone who comments, I'll get back to you afterwards. So what I wanted to talk to you today is about depression. Now, I know that there's so many people out there that suffer with depression, all right, and anxiety, and it can stop you from doing amazing things. And over the years, I've realised that. See, when I was a child, obviously I had my ADHD to deal with and stuff like that. But coming into my early 20s, I hit a massive brick wall in my life, all right, and depression really caved in. And I didn't actually realise what depression was until it hit me with such a hit. It was just out of control. Now, when I was younger, I suppose my depression and anger, I used to take it out on different things. I was a massive rap fan. I used to always have my headphones in, and I always used to have my, CD player or a Walkman in my pocket, and listening to the latest rap artists that are out. Eminem to Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Nas, all that sort of stuff, and that sort of, that rap music sort of like helped me through the stages of depression, and music was a massive part of me that used to calm me down. Now, as I started in my into my 20s, I hit a massive brick wall where I suppose money was the massive issue, all right, because I think I was living from day to day, not realizing what needed to be paid, and not realizing things come first, and I let things build up and build up. I let it build up so much that there was so much weight on my shoulders that I couldn't take no more. I had stopped paying stuff. I had bailiffs at the doors. I had everything, and I had to turn around and I was looking at this beautiful family I was in control of, and sort of like, had to be like, I don't know, I was the one who was bringing the money in. It was my job to keep them happy, safe, and make sure they had everything. And what I'd done is I'd been plain ignorant and not realising that this, that and the other, everything just jumped on my shoulders massively, right? And then in my early 20s, I hit a brick wall massively. Depression was awful. Everything I looked at, I didn't like. I would moan at the weather. I'd moan at the way things are. I'd moan at everything inside my head was so negative. I hated everything. I hated myself. I hated everything around me. And I locked myself away. I didn't go out. For years and years, I turned to drugs. I used to just like live it up for a Friday night just so that I didn't feel this pain inside. But after everything wore off, the alcohol, the drugs wore off, the situation was still there. It was still there, and it was hardcore. It was massive, and I needed to start making a choice. I needed to start realizing now that I have to man up, and things need to start happening. Well, cut a long story short, when I hit this massive dent of depression, I decided to go and seek a doctor, and seek doctor's advice about it. And when I was put on this medication, I'd take medication for six to 8 months. It used to give me some little bit of a boost, but after about a year, these medications used to wear off, and I used to go back. I'd get put on another one, and all I could see was these medications were like masking the cuts. They weren't healing the wounds, as if to speak. And like I said, I had to start bucking up and realising that, I can't do this no more. Things are going to have to change in my life. I'm going to have to start putting money aside. I'm going to have to start thinking about bills before just going out and not having things. I don't want bailiffs at my door. I don't want my kids to grow up and see this as a real life to be living, I want them to have respect. I want them to be able to take on the world with their hands, So, for years and years and years, I fought with depression. Like, some people probably didn't even know, or like my close family, well, you'll know too well that I suffer with depression. And locking myself away at night, coming home from work, moaning and groaning, it was awful, absolutely awful. Now, I'm not gonna lie, every so often I have a little relapse, but them relapses are not happening very often anymore, and I'm keeping myself positive and driven at all times. Now, the biggest impact and cure, if I can say cure, because there is no cure, you've got to You've got to use it in moderate. You've got to use it, moderate it. You've got to pick out the balance on how you can keep your mindset in good shape. Now, when Stephanie joined the network marketing scene, all right, I just saw it as another weight that I was going to be carrying on my shoulders. You know, I didn't see any potential in it. I thought it was just going to be crazy and crap. And I just thought, you know what, I'm depressed as it is. I don't need this in my life right now, you know. But I didn't have any faith in it whatsoever. But anyway, I was wrong, you know, and, you know, Stephanie, I'm very sorry for that. And I'm sorry for the way that I used to say, oh, this is a load of crap, man. Put it to bed now. Don't bother about this, blah, blah, blah. You know, but all I would love to say and love to thank to my wife is to introducing me to this industry, because it's put me in touch with amazing people that day after day on my Facebook, and even when I see them now at conferences and stuff like that, there's no negativity that surrounds me. There's pure positive. Everyone is nice. Everyone says good morning to each other, you know, and we encourage each other, and we all encourage each other, and we never ever, well, we don't push negativity out there. We like to decrease negativity and increase positivity. So the morals of this story really is, if you're suffering with depression, all right, if you're feeling anxious, if you're giving up inside and you don't believe in yourself, you need to stop. You need to take a second and you need to think, how much worse could my life be? You know, there are so many people out there that are in so much harmful struggles and nastiness. There's poverty, there's wars, everything that they can't, you know, there's super typhoons that are wiping out countries, there's hurricanes that are wiping out states, you know, there's so much, you know, your life is not that bad. And I suppose, like, as well, the biggest thing for me, and I love it so much, was listening to self-development. Now, without self-development, I wouldn't be the person I am now. It's made me so much more confident listening to all these people's stories and actually listening to some of the biggest, massive superstars out there that were kicked in their teeth. I can name a few offhand. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love him I love his motivation to pieces. He was told he'd never be an actor, that he'd be a nobody. Well, he proved wrong, right? Dwayne Johnson. His dad laughed at him when he said he was going to be a wrestler. Look at him now. You know, there's so many people out there that wanted to do things their way that were laughed and were ridiculed about things, all right? And that sent them into states of depression, but they overcome it and they carried on their journey and they struggled through and they became who they wanted to be. So instead of sitting there depressed and feeling anxious, try to overcome it with a little bit of self-development. It's worldwide and there's loads of it on YouTube. There's absolutely tons of it. There's stories of motivation. There's inspiring stories of how mum comes from having nothing to being able to feed her family and give their family everything just because she changed her mindset and went her ways and did things differently. And I'm telling you now, mindset is massive, and it's the biggest key that you can tune to make you feel a better person. It's put my depression on hold. I smile instead of moaning now, and I think Stephanie's very glad of that. I do have my occasional ups and downs, but come on, we're human, guys. But if I can give 90% of me being the best part of me, then I'll give it, and I'll work on that 10%. So if you're depressed, get yourself some motivation inside you, man. Go and listen to people's inspiring stories. And you know what? Start smiling and instead of frowning. So yeah, there's my story. And I wanted to share it with you today because I just wanted you to see a different, see the picture of Mr. Mick and how I've overcome fears and factors in the past. And now it's made me more confident as a person to beat depression with self-development and listening to motivation. So that's enough from me, and I thank you very kindly for jumping on. And like I said at the start, if you're watching this on replay, hashtag the replay, and I wish you an absolutely amazing Saturday and enjoy your weekend, guys. So I'm out. Take it easy. Bye.